Problem number 2. They're going to ask me to prove that this triangle on the left, ABD, is congruent to this triangle on the right, CBD. And I'm going to, follow my flow. I'm going to start by putting the given information into my diagram. I'll do that one at a time. So I'm going to take this first piece of given, that this side here, AB, must be congruent to this side here, C to B. And then there's this second piece of information, namely that this side right here, BD, it's going to bisect, it's going to cut in half, or more importantly, two congruent parts. That's what I really care about. It's going to cut something in half. And the thing that's getting cut in half is an angle. All right, an angle is going to get split down the middle. So I got to find that angle, ABC. I go to A, I travel to B, and I end at C. And from here all the way to there, that's the angle that this side right here is cutting in half. It's going straight down the middle. So I'm going to show that visually, that there are my two congruent angles. This angle right here, it's named A, B, and it turns down to D. That's angle A, B, D. And then I'll do it in red, I guess, just so you can see. This angle here is angle C to B, and it turns down to D. That angle is angle C, B, D. That's extra small. Let me make it a bit bigger. Angle C, B, D. Okay. Well, that's kind of all my givens, and I've used them. And at this point, I've got a side and an angle, but I need one more thing. So I've used all my givens. Now I'm in this mode of like, hey, do I have any free facts? Do I got vertical angles? No, I don't have that that like crossing thing, right? That's not this. But I do see the reflexive property. I do see this line, and I guess I'll do it in blue. I see this line going right down the middle, namely BD. BD is in both of those triangles. So that's my third fact. I'll have side, angle, and side. This will be a side angle side proof, and we got reflexive and that definition of a bisector. So I think we figured it out. We're now ready to write the proof. And, this is going to get a little old, but we're always going to start with the givens. Right? AB is congruent to CD. How did I know that? Well, that was given to me. And because this has that congruent symbol, that's one of my facts. That's either a side or an angle. That counts towards the side angle side. Right? This next given, namely that BD bisects angle ABC, that doesn't have it doesn't have that congruent symbol. It's not there. This is just a fact that doesn't contribute to the postulate that we're going to use. It's a fact that will help me get there, because the very next thing I'm going to say was these congruent angles, right? That these angles are congruent, because that's what it means to bisect. That's what that bisector does. It creates those congruent angles. So from this, from step number 2, from statement number 2, I'm allowed to say that angle ABD is congruent to angle CBD. And then my reason for saying that is, well, that's the definition of an angle bisector. All right, and that's an angle fact, because that's got that congruent symbol, and we're talking about angles. All right, that's how I know it's an angle fact. So now I've got side, I've got angle, and now I'm ready to say that reflexive property with BD. I'm ready to say BD is congruent to itself. because that's my third side. That's my side angle side. My reason for saying that is, well, that's the reflexive property, right? Anything, whether it's a side or an angle, must be congruent to itself. That's how I know BD is congruent to itself. I've got my side angle side. I'm now ready to just restate what they asked me to prove, namely that triangle ABD is congruent to triangle CBD. And then my reason for saying that, well, that was the side angle side postulate. I'll see you in the next one.